What is up, guys? It's Thomas Massa coming at you with another Wannabe Outdoors video. This week we are deer hunting. Just got done with elk season. Time to move on to deer season. This actually happened before my dad shot his elk. It was September 4th. The earliest, I've hardly hunted early September. Usually I'm thinking elk and antelope until that middle of September time, late September. That's usually when I get out in the stand. But I had some free time on September 4th. I was at home, late evening, about 7 o'clock when I got out of the truck. And it was hot. 103 degrees out when I got out of the truck. And I'm sitting there with my bow thinking, man, I'm not even going to see a single deer tonight. They're going to wait till after dark to move. And that ended up not being the case. I was completely wrong. I was sitting in some water, which was probably a smart move being how hot it was. And it definitely paid off. You'll just have to watch and see what happens. Well, the sit started off pretty slow. I got in the stand at about 7:15 and nothing happened until 8. Now we're talking shooting light is ending 8:30 and there's not a deer that is out of the trees at 8. And I'm just like, oh, what a disaster of a sit. And then a couple fawns come out and some does. And before I know it, there's like 10 does and some fawns. And I'm like, okay, maybe something could happen, but I still haven't seen a buck. And usually those little bucks will move before a mature dominant buck will move. But you gotta remember, it's still like over 100 degrees outside, if not over right at 100 degrees. It's hot. These deer need water, and wouldn't you know it, a big buck shows up. We had this buck on camera from the start of the year. He was by far the dominant buck on our property, antler-wise. We definitely had some bucks that were older, but he just stood out from the start. Mr. Hollywood, getting pictures of him on all the cameras. This was the buck we wanted to kill this year. And wouldn't you know it, September 4th, and I've got him coming to the water hole with about 10 minutes of shooting light left. Oh, good buck. Good buck coming in. Good buck coming in. It is like right at shooting light and I can still see my pins good. And when you're in a blind, you lose your pins before you lose shooting light. So I knew I was still good, but just smoked that freaking buck. Let's go. I just smoked him. 5x6. The problem was he came in on the side of the tank that I couldn't film on, so I had to slide the camera out of the way while he was on his way in. I think it was too dark anyway. But the old Luminox stuck in the ground down there, baby. Darted him. It didn't look like he ducked. It was dark. It was kind of hard to see. But the sound was that freaking sound you're looking for, that contact sound, baby. So we'll give it a couple minutes here. We'll go check the arrow. I got some phone calls to make real quick, and Alright guys, we just got down here. We'll get our first look at the arrow here. Oh, it's covered in blood. It's dried already. So what we're looking for is little dabs, or little bubbles in it. It's dried. I'm not seeing a lot for bubbles, but it is soaked in blood. I don't know how well the camera can see that there. I mean, she's covered in blood there. I'm not seeing
ton for bubbles, but there's definitely some bubbles. Oh man, we got big blob of blood right there on that rock. Like, blood drops all the way going up the freaking hill. Oh. That is freaking sweet. It's got this common base thing going on this side over here. Bladed brows, a little bit of palmation here. We've got pictures of this deer from really, I mean, like July when we first put cameras out. This buck started showing up, and he's really been like the biggest deer on the place since then. I mean, we've got some 4x4s that are more mature, a little older, but score wise he has been the buck that's really popped up on the cameras for us. Wow, I can't believe it. First sit at home. This is my first sit at home. This is my second sit of archery season. This is the first buck I saw this archery season. This is the first buck I've seen. I didn't see one on my first sit, just a couple does and fawns, and all that came out before him was does and fawns.
100 degrees.
Yeah, it was 103 degrees when I got out of the truck. And that's what sitting water will do right there. They've got to come drink. He wanted to walk past the tank. He walked past the tank before he came to it. And then he ended up coming right up to the tank and drinking because he had to. 100 degrees, they gotta come drink. Wow, that's awesome.
Redneck blind.
Yeah, the redneck blind. I mean, they had no idea I was there. I had deer all around me, wind blowing right down to them, but I had those windows closed up. Flipped the ozonics on a little bit to kill the scent. They had no idea I was there. Absolutely no idea. Wow. What a buck. What a buck. That is probably my biggest archery buck to date right there. And I mean, couldn't ask for better shot placement. Absolutely smoked him. That's entrance, and he was pretty much dead broadside, so I'm sure exit is just a touch lower than that, but I mean, yeah, 50 yards. I had to almost taken the heart off the top of him, right through the lungs. Just beautiful. Wow. I don't even know. I'm like lost for words right now.
Good job, Sonny.
Thanks.
Now we got to get him cut up.
Yeah, because it's still 88 degrees right now, so we got to get moving on this deer. Wow. How freaking sweet is that?
What a freaking hunt, guys. I mean, I was at a loss for words then, and I still am now. I mean, to kill a buck, September 4th, 103 degrees out. I mean, yeah, you're sitting in a water hole, and they're going to go to the water, but those mature bucks just don't make mistakes like that early in the season, man. They go drink at night, and they're nocturnal. And to have it come together, I mean, yeah, this buck had showed himself in the daytimes a couple times, but we were mainly getting nighttime pictures of him. And to have it come together, I mean, what an incredible hunt. We didn't have a single daytime picture of him at that camera in the evening. We had pictures of him in the morning, but I was like, you know what? Let's just go throw out an evening sit. It's hot. We'll see what happens. He'll probably show up after dark. I'll be there tomorrow morning when he's going to be there. Because he had been there 4 mornings in a row. He was showing himself in the morning there a lot. But the evenings just weren't coming together there. And for some reason, that evening he decided to do it. And I want to show you guys something quick. So these sheds right here are the exact same deer 1 year before. Now, this was only a 4.5-year-old deer. So he probably would have blown up like he did between, this is 2.5-year-old, or this is 3.5-year-old shed, and there's 4.5. He probably would have blown up like that again to 5.5. He put on probably 20 inches of 15 inches antler between mass, which he got a lot bigger, a little bit of tine length, and then that whole extra tine, which if you're using nets, which are for fishing, counts against him, but I count it because that is some cool character. But yeah, that shows you what a year can do for a buck like that. You might have a nice 5x5 on your place, but look what he can become in a year. He'll throw 15 inches of antler on and become a really nice 5x6. I would have liked to have waited 1 more year. I thought he was 5.5. Turns out he was only 4.5 when we looked at his teeth and added all the body measurements up. I mean, you're really looking for that sagging belly, swaying back, So it turns out we figured he was only 4.5. It's all just a guess. Anybody who tells you they have the exact age of the deer, unless they have pictures of it from when it was a fawn, is just a guess. But we think he was probably 4.5. Would love to have seen him make it to 5.5, but I'm still extremely happy to harvest a nice buck. Yeah, thanks for watching the video. What a great hunt. And I hope we can get some more deer hunting content out to you guys, because that's really what we love to do. Me and True. By the way, thanks True for building those arrows. They obviously work great. Me and True really just love getting after some deer hunting, so hopefully we can get another video out to you guys soon. Thanks for watching. See you next time.